Do you want to know the difference between living in Denver versus living in the suburbs?
Absolutely, I do.
Let's rock and roll. Welcome back to the channel, Marco Randazzo, everything you need to know about living here in Denver. So today we are embarking on a detailed exploration of the choice between the city life in Denver versus the tranquility of the surrounding suburbs, which is where I live. So if you're on the brink of a major decision, stick around. You're going to want to watch this video. It's tailor-made for you. Personally, we decided to move to Arvada in the suburbs, and we absolutely love it here. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you a bit more about why we made that choice. So let's dive right into the heartbeat of Denver, Colorado. So the city is a kaleidoscope of a lot of different neighborhoods, okay? So each of them have their own character. There are trendy vibes in Lodo to the historic charm of Five Points and a lot of stuff in between. You're gonna find a niche somewhere that suits your lifestyle somewhere in Denver. Living in Denver means you're immersing yourself in a hub of cultural diversity and entertainment. The job market is super dynamic. It offers a lot of opportunities in tech and healthcare and lots more. And let's not forget the culinary scene. Denver's food game is on point. For example, we live out here in Arvada, but our favorite restaurants are in Denver. We go to Linger, which is in the Highlands, close to downtown Denver, for date nights, and that's one of our places to go eat. And the Highlands area has a lot of better restaurants than out here. So yes, living in the city of Denver can be pretty cool, but with its perks also come some challenges, including more traffic, and the cost of living is definitely higher. Now let's shift our focus to the suburbs. So many people opt for suburban living for a quieter and more family-friendly atmosphere. The Denver suburbs offer a different pace of life with more spacious homes, good schools, and a strong sense of community, depending on where you live. So if you're looking for a more laid-back lifestyle, the suburbs might be a good fit for you. Commuting from the suburbs to Denver is pretty common, and while it might take a little longer to reach the city, the trade-off is usually a bit of a more relaxed environment. Additionally, the cost of living in the suburbs can be more affordable compared to the city center, but really that's relative depending on what neighborhood you're in. For example, if you live in the far east suburbs close to the airport, you will get a lot more bang for your buck. Whereas if you live out west, closer to the mountains, in West Arvada or the Golden area, which is where I live, West Arvada by Stanley Lake, it can get pretty pricey. And if you're curious to get more information about the specifics about what average costs are for the homes in the various Denver neighborhoods or for the different suburbs around Denver, stick around for the rest of this video. I'm going to get a little more detailed.
You know what would help is a pros and cons list for our options.
In Denver, you are really in the epicenter of cultural events, job opportunities, and a vibrant lifestyle. Yet, you might grapple with the challenge of a higher cost of living and a daily grind of city traffic. The suburbs, however, offer a quieter lifestyle, more space for your dollar, and often excellent schools for your families. But the trade-off could be a longer commute and a potential lack of immediate access to city amenities. Consider your lifestyle preference. Are you a weekend warrior seeking mountain adventures and city nightlife, or do you cherish more quiet evenings and community events? Denver caters to the former, while the suburbs lean towards the latter. So evaluate your daily routine, family needs, and long-term goals so that you can make an informed decision. Keep in mind, these are very high-level points, and there's a lot of different areas of Denver and a lot of different suburbs around it. So if you have any questions at all about what it's like to live in Denver versus the suburbs, put your questions below in the comments. I will respond to them all and do my best to help you get clarity on your options. One of the most common things that I hear with people relocating to Denver is that they want to be close to the mountains. And I totally get it. I live in Northwest Arvada and it's great. I'm close to the mountains. And yes, it's more expensive than living in East Denver, but it's incredible out here. And it's still less than 30 minutes for us to get to a Rockies game downtown whenever we go there, so it doesn't feel that far from the city. Each Denver neighborhood or suburban area has their own unique flavor, and the key is finding the one that resonates for you. Now let's go ahead and zoom in on a few popular neighborhoods in Denver. Let's start with Lodo, which is short for Lower Downtown. So this is really the heart of the downtown Denver area. Lodo is known for its historic architecture, trendy lofts, and vibrant nightlife scene. It features popular attractions like Union Station and Coors Field, which are two of the most iconic Denver places. The average cost of living is $825,000. Next up is Highlands, sometimes called The Highlands or Highlands or just Highland. Not to be confused with Highlands Ranch, which is a suburb we'll talk about later. So this area offers a mix of Victorian and modern architecture and has a very diverse community. Honestly, we love the Highlands. It's one of our favorite places to go. Highland Square and Tennyson Street are very popular for all of their boutiques, restaurants, art galleries, and incredible coffee shops. Average cost of living is $825,000. Next, Capitol Hill, or Cap Hill for short. We lived here for a year when we first moved to Denver. It is a super cool neighborhood, and we loved it there. Cap Hill is known for its very historic homes. And as you guessed, yes, the Capitol building of Denver is located here. Our favorite coffee shop there is Pablo's Coffee on 6th. Super chill, great coffee, love it. One time we actually walked from our house to a Rockies game. It's about 2 miles away, so it was a long walk, but it is cool that it's walkable. Totally different neighborhood, but you're still really close to the downtown Denver area. Average housing cost around here is $850,000. Next up, Cherry Creek. Cherry Creek is an upscale neighborhood with luxury homes and high-end shopping, dining, and beautiful residential areas. The Cherry Creek Trail provides outdoor recreation, and the Cherry Creek Shopping Center is a major retail destination. From Cap Hill, I would often hop from my bike onto the Cherry Creek Trail, which runs along the river, and it's really cool because that bike path connects a lot of different neighborhoods of Denver. Average cost of living in Cherry Creek is $1 million. Next up, Washington Park, or Wash Park for short. This place is famous for its narrow park. It's beautiful. And Wash Park is a very residential neighborhood with a mix of historic and modern homes. The park offers biking and jogging trails. There's 2 lakes there, and there's a host of lots of different events throughout the year. Average cost of living is $1.3 million. Next up, River North, or Rhino for short. So Rhino is in the 5 Points district. It's just north of Coors Field. My office is down here. It's about 6 blocks away. I love working down there. Rhino is undergoing a huge revitalization right now. There's new businesses, new restaurants, all coming up throughout that area. And it has a really cool growing art scene. So if you've ever seen pictures of creative graffiti all over the place and pictures in Denver, that was probably in the Rhino area. Another great restaurant that my wife and I love is Barcelona Wine Company, and that's right there in Rhino, across the street from my office. Average home value here is $635,000. Now, these are just a few examples. Denver has many more neighborhoods, and each of them have their own unique charm and character. So if you live in one of these Denver neighborhoods, what are the pros? What are the cons of your area? Why do you like living there? And if you have a question about any of these Denver neighborhoods specifically, drop them in the comments and I will respond to all of them to help give you insights about what each of these different neighborhoods are like in Denver and what they have to offer. And now let's zoom out and take a look at some of the bullet points of a few popular suburban areas outside the city of Denver. Let's start with Aurora. Aurora is located to the east and south of Denver. It is a very large area with a lot of different diverse suburbs. It offers a mix of residential neighborhoods, shopping centers, and parks. Buckley Air Force Base is situated in Aurora. It's way out east. And just north of Aurora is the Denver Airport. And if you go way down to the southeast part of Aurora, you'll find the Aurora Reservoir, and it's a super nice community. And the neighborhood around there is called South Shore. And just for example, in the South Shore neighborhood, the average house is $800,000, but in the entire city of Aurora, the average price is $475,000. So the cost of living can vary a lot depending on where you are. Next up is Lakewood. Lakewood is situated to the west of Denver and a bit south. Lakewood has a mix of housing options. It includes a variety of different parks, including the popular Bear Creek Lake Park. That's over there by Green Mountain. It's a super pretty area. And not too far away from here is the Belmar Shopping District. That's one of the main draws of living in Lakewood, is being close to here because they have virtually every store in the whole world is like right there. Average home value is $560,000. Next up, Littleton. So Littleton is south of Denver, and it's a historic suburb with a charming little downtown area. The Platte River runs through the city of Littleton, providing lots of recreational opportunities. Littleton is known for its family-friendly atmosphere and quality schools. Chatfield State Park is here in the south part of Littleton. We've camped there before. It's amazing. They have a mile-long dog park, which is super awesome, and my dog loves it there. Average home value in Littleton is $635,000. I don't know if you can hear my dog, but she's running around upstairs barking right now. Next up is Highlands Ranch. Highlands Ranch is situated to the south of Denver, and it is a planned community. Okay, so the homes are newer. Highlands Ranch offers a wide range of housing options. There's lots of parks and there's lots of recreational facilities as well. The community has really highly rated schools. It's very residential, and it's really just a big family-friendly area with, again, lots of newer houses. The average cost of living here is $680,000. Next up is Arvada. Yeah. So Arvada is located to the northwest of Denver. That's where I live. Like many of the other suburban cities, Arvada is pretty big and it is very diverse. So there's a historic downtown Arvada called Old Town. This is one of the best things about living here, is being close to there. But there's lots of other parts of the city. Old Town Arvada is an incredible place to walk around, and it has our favorite restaurant, which is Lady Nomada. The food, pretty good, but honestly, we like it because of the vibes. Lizzie and I really like restaurants when the vibes are awesome. Arvada is known for its community events, lots of parks, and outdoor recreation. So I live in Northwest Arvada, close to Stanley Lake, where the lots are generally a little bigger and it's less densely populated than the southeast part of Arvada. And yes, it's a little bit more expensive, but it starts to feel like Golden, which is honestly why we love it out here, because it's a little more open. You can see the mountains and it's beautiful. Average cost of living in the whole city of Arvada is $610,000. Next up is Westminster. Westminster is located to the north and west of Denver, but mostly north. Westminster has a lot of different areas. For example, just north of Arvada, there is an incredible dog park with sweeping views of the mountain, and that is Westminster. But if you go farther east and get into Westminster, then you get a small downtown area, which is pretty new, and there's lots of shopping and dining and entertaining, but it feels totally different than the west side of town. Westminster has lots of parks and golf courses, and it's well connected to major highways, such as Highway 36, which lets you get into Denver and up to Boulder very easily. Average home value is $525,000. Next up, Broomfield. Broomfield is nestled right between Denver and Boulder. Broomfield is known for its growing technology center. So Broomfield is really a hub for tech companies, specifically in the Interlochen Technology Park area. Residents here enjoy tons of outdoor spaces and parks, and the proximity to the mountains is nice. You can see the mountains from Broomfield, which make it a really pretty place to live. Personally, we drive up to Broomfield all the time. We got a lot of friends who live up in that area, and we love taking our kids to the Broomfield Library. The park, the library there, it's a really great place. Average home cost is $630,000. All right, so let's keep in mind that these descriptions are very broad, okay? So we're really just scratching the surface of some of these suburban areas. They each have their own unique characteristics and communities. So it's really advisable to explore all these areas in a lot more detail so you can find out which of them suits your preference and your lifestyle, because they're very different.
People who own houses and people who own condos.
So if you live in one of these areas, drop your comments below right now. I want to know the pros, the cons. What do you like or what do you not like about living in the suburbs? And if you don't know these areas very well, if you're considering a move into Denver or within Denver, then drop a comment below and I'm happy to answer your questions. All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive into Denver versus the suburbs, remember that if you're moving here, your choice should really align with your priorities and your lifestyle. What is important to you about where you live? For us, I will share it was important to get a little more bang for your buck and a nicer and a bigger house than we could have afforded in Denver. And that's why we moved out here to Arvada. Like I said, we are closer to the mountains, so we get those beautiful views. And at the same time, it's easy to hop into Denver when we need to. So we're close to the hikes, we're close to the skiing, we're close to the city. For us, it's kind of the best of both worlds. Also, out here in Arvada, it's really easy to get up to Boulder. You just hop on 36 and you're there. Chautauqua Park is a beautiful park in Boulder. It's probably one of our favorite places to go. Very family friendly. If you've never been there, check it out. It's incredible. But if you're going on the weekends, make sure you plan time for parking because it gets a hella busy, but it's worth it. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.